So on RompHim, that's a business that went pretty viral, right? They got, I keep remembering, I keep forgetting the exact number, but I want to say like almost $400,000 in a week on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
do you think for us we can go viral? Do you think that's something that we should even be thinking about? Or I guess, how do you think about that?
I guess let me get a better framing. Are you talking about viral in the context of a Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah, yeah. Or I guess Kickstarter, and then because they went viral with the Kickstarter, but then they were also going viral just on on the internet, and like I think they were featured on like Jimmy Kimmel and maybe a few other talk shows, like websites. Just a lot of people were hearing about their brand and introduced to their brand through the Kickstarter, and they were like talking about them, things like that. So do you think that we can do something similar? Do you think it's even worth trying to do that? Or do you think that that just, if it happens, it happens? It's kind of impossible to know what's going to go viral.
Yeah, I think I agree with the latter point that it's somewhat impossible to know what's going to go viral. It's almost like right place, right time. And for RomHim, their product, it was almost like a nature of the product. They kind of set themselves up to go viral, and not to say that we aren't doing the same thing by doing all our posts and how we like interact with our community. But I think they kind of set themselves up to go viral. I know that uh, Chip was talking about going to I don't know why I can't think of the name of the Coachella. So I remember them talking about going to Coachella and wearing the RompHims, and people were just kind of like enamored by these guys, wearing this kind of, traditional. I guess girls would typically wear this, or I don't know. Like it's not a garb that most guys were wearing, and so I think that type of presence really helped them out. Um, and it's such a unique and like different product for the target group that they were going after that it just started kind of picking up steam. For us, it would probably be different. I don't foresee us going to like an event like Coachella, but there are other like I guess events that are more conducive to our target audience that could potentially lend itself to being a viral event or a viral campaign. But I don't know if we can plan on that. I mean, I think we can continue to do what we do, and there's a potential there for it to go viral. But in terms of like planning it, counting on it, or anything like that, I don't know how we could possibly like be able to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's nice to think about, right? Like, oh, if we went viral, if we raised $400,000 or $500,000, then we would do this, and then it would just be so much easier because we have all of this brand equity built up. Basically, did it for free. But like you said, it's really hard to count on that. And also, I think like you were saying too, their product, I think, just lends itself to virality a little bit more. And I think it's actually, there's probably benefits and there's pros and cons of that. So having a product that's almost like a novelty and people want to buy once, then that, I think that lends itself a little bit more to going viral. But then once you fulfill that Kickstarter order, maybe there's not a lot of demand after that. And maybe it's something where it's like where it's a Coachella or these festivals or events, and that's really it. It's not something I'm wearing too much. So I don't have to buy, maybe I buy it like once a year or once every 2 years, whereas shoes are more of a necessity and you need them more often, but they might feel a bit less like a novelty item and a bit more kind of like boring to certain people. So you're not going to get those people who just see it and they're like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's kind of cool and wacky. Let me just buy this thing. It's more like people who are interested in buying it now and in the future would be our potential backers. So I think might be hard to go viral, but that could also be a good thing for us just because our product is not a novelty item.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I think for us to kind of like go viral in the space as a novelty item, you'd have to be like, that brand Mischief or Mischief or whatever it's called. And their big red boot and all the other kind of like I guess shoes that they kind of do. You'd have to be like something like that. And like you said, it's like a one-time purchase. It's not something that you're kind of wearing all the time. And I think that was one of the reasons why Chip and the gang kind of had to immediately jump into something else, like create another product, create something else in their product line. He mentioned a RompHim that actually was, had a pants version of it, I guess. Still short sleeve, but it was a pants version. So like coming up with something, they had to like continue to like make their product somewhat novel, like somewhat interesting, whereas ours would be a little bit more long lasting, I believe.